Welcome to Good News to Go. I'm Mabel.
And I'm Ren.
And we're bringing you the brightest stories from around the globe.
This week, scientists may have found proof of life on an exoplanet.
And North Korean refugees take public speaking classes to share their stories.
The world's protected land grows in size, and fish fossils rewrite what we thought we knew about evolution.
And a dog who was once on death row now saves other animals. So 5 fast, feel-good stories. So over in Seoul, a U.S. charity called Freedom Speakers International has been teaching public speaking to North Korean refugees.
The curriculum includes the English language, storytelling, career development, even speech contests. And the goal isn't just fluency, but voice, to learn how to actually use their voice to reclaim their narrative.
One of the founders said that people join because they want to raise awareness, advocate for change, like heal from trauma and just be heard. And they've taught more than 600 people so far.
And it gets really raw and personal. Like some speakers have talked about torture or loss or escape. Others talk about families still trapped behind the regime.
And what's wild is that this work has been so potent and powerful that one of the founders of this group actually landed on North Korea's official enemies list.
I mean, that's crazy. I'm not surprised Kim Jong-un doesn't want these stories to get out there. Next up, a tiny fossil is rewriting what we thought we knew about so many of our freshwater fish.
Yeah, so in Alberta, Canada, paleontologists uncovered a fossil of a fish that was only about 1.6 inches long, and it dated back to the late Cretaceous period, and it's been named Acronithis macagonoi. Yep, that's what it's called.
And what makes it special is that it belongs to this super group of fish that includes catfish, carp, tetras, which dominate freshwater globally.
And this little guy is filling in a huge gap in all of these fish's origin stories. So until now, scientists were kind of fuzzy on how and when these fish made the leap from saltwater to freshwater. But then these fish suggest the transition happened at least twice, much earlier than they previously thought.
Ooh. And what's also wild is that the fossil was found far inland, so it had no direct access to the sea. So that challenges assumptions about how these fish spread and like where the continents were when the oceans separated.
And the scientists used micro CT scans to non-destructively see inside rock and bone, and that kind of helped them reconstruct how fish ear and swim bladder configuration links to modern fish anatomy.
Whoa. I mean, it's just so crazy. One tiny fish from 100 million years ago can change huge ideas about evolution and migration and even like plate tectonics.
So this week, UNESCO announced a serious win. They've added an area of land equal in size to Bolivia to their global network of biosphere reserves, which is about 5% of all protected land on Earth.
And that equates to millions of square kilometers of ecosystems, forests, coastlines, all kinds of landscapes.
And I guess 6 new countries just got added to the biosphere reserve. So that's Angola, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Iceland, Oman, and Tajikistan. And then also Sao Tome and Principe became the first countries whose entire territory is now a designated biosphere reserve.
And of course, there's still work to do. Obviously, 5% is a huge sign of progress, but the goal is actually 30% of land and seas protected by 2030.
We have a mind-blowing space update for you guys today. So authors and astronomers might be one step closer to finding a climate, maybe even life beyond Earth.
So the James Webb Space Telescope has trained its eye on TRAPPIST-1e, which is an Earth-sized exoplanet about 40 light years away, and it sits in its star's habitable zone, meaning it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's like Goldilocks, and liquid water might be possible there.
And what makes this really exciting is that these scientists have found indications, I guess, signals in the spectrum that could point to an atmosphere around TRAPPIST-1e.
But this star is a troublemaker because TRAPPIST-1 is a red dwarf with star spots, magnetic activity, cool and hot regions, all of which mess with data collection. So it makes it really hard. The team had to spend over a year disentangling what was coming from the planet versus what was just noise or distortion from the star.
So there are different scenarios that the scientists think could be possible. So first is that TRAPPIST-1e has a secondary atmosphere made of heavier gases like nitrogen, maybe methane, something more Earth-like in structure. And then their second theory is that it could turn out that there's no atmosphere at all, like the planet is more just like a bare rock.
Well, we will keep not us, but like, you know, the James Webb Space Telescope. We'll keep watching TRAPPIST-1e because the next couple of years could bring huge important discoveries. And finally, a stray dog was literally rescued from death row, and now it's kind of a detective for lost animals.
So meet Rico. This little Coconi pup was saved just in the nick of time from a Portuguese dog pound. So he had 2 days left to live, basically before being euthanized. But Rachel Rogers, who runs this canine school of trailing, basically paid for his release, brought him to England, and then gave him a second shot at life.
Oh. But Rachel didn't just like physically save him, because then something crazy happened. So Rico started showing off insane sniffing skills. Like he could track down lost pets, even an escaped zoo animal, just by following the scent trails, using things like blankets, chew toys, even animals' droppings to get a scent reference.
Yeah, one of his standout rescues was a runaway capybara named Cinnamon. So Rico, without a fresh trail, was given, like you said, droppings from Cinnamon's family. Not even him, like his family as the scent source. And then he led the search, cut through fields, like picked up a trail, and then led people to where clues were found, ultimately helping rescue him.
That's actually crazy. So now over the years, Rico has helped with over 20 rescues of various kinds, and Rachel is training other dogs to be just like Rico.
And that's a wrap for this week's Good News to Go. Rico sounds like the coolest dog.
I'm so talented. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a story.
See you next week for more Good News to Go.